Good evening. Ira Epstein with your weekly wrap-up for your stock, SPDR, ETF markets. And this is Sunday, the 23rd of March, 2025. So this is going to be the last week before we know just what these tariffs are going to be, what Trump intends to do, how does it impact the market, what do people do against the U.S. This is going to be a very big week for that. We do start off in the morning, though, with a little bit of information. Let me first get you to that before we do the special report. So the Chicago Federal Reserve is going to issue its National Activity Index at 7:30, and you're going to get the U.S. March flash manufacturing and service sector PMIs in the morning as well. So it's going to be an interesting day, to say the least. Now, you know that I have a special report out on energies, and it's primarily gasoline, and I talk about a gasoline ETF in it. In order to see the report, it goes off Tuesday. You want to take a look now. I cover what the futures markets have done in seasonals over the past 5, 10, and 15 years from this point right into the spring, summer, not late summer, because the market anticipates that. As you get your gas buddy reports, the futures have already made a big move. So the question is, where do you come in if you're trying to catch that? And that's what I talk about here. So just go to iraepstein.com. Take a look on the top left. It's right there for members that are subscribers of mine, for paid subscribers for the morning SPDR ETF. Just go to your member login area. That's the way you do that. All righty. So if we could, let's go back and now take a look at what we're talking about in the markets. So we had a late rally, as you can see, where the markets were down and they all came back from the stock indices, near the highs, in fact. And tonight the futures are higher, so there's the follow-through that you're getting there. Rivian came back almost $1. 72 cents is a good number. I'm going to cover Coinbase tonight for you. I haven't done that in a while. Apple looks to me like it wants to gain a little bit here. I'm looking at how gold is doing. It was down on the day early on. It hasn't done much in the futures early here. NVIDIA sort of stuck here, not a leader, that's for certain, in the tech stocks right now. MCHI, well, that's the Chinese part. They were down a little bit. Palantir was up nicely. You're just getting a mixed bag as we're going along here. So let's go take a look and see what we've got. If you look at Coinbase, which we have not looked at in a very long time, the market has had one heck of a serious correction. The big question is, does it get under 150, or is this where the market's going to try to get its footing? The market's got lower highs, lower lows, which is bearish. The market is well under the 18-week average, and it turned bearish when it got right here under all that. It's been going down week after week since then, but I don't look for much more than the 100-week and the 200, at least for the first stopping spot in the market, because the Bollinger Band's already carrying you into those numbers. So I'm looking for those three to be the zone where the market finds its support now. In momentum, you're oversold. So I see it as an oversold market approaching. Many reasons to think the pros are going to cover shorts, starting right from anywhere here down to that 160 level. In Dutch Brothers, the market's trying to find its footing at the 18-week moving average of closes. If you recall, when it started down, my objective when you lost the bullish embedded reading, and for those of you that are regular viewers, you know what I talk about here, it came down there. Now you can see it getting beat up in the market. In Netflix, a higher high, lower low. I think Netflix is finding a value area now at the 934 area, roughly, the 18-week average of closes. Still okay in MCHI, yes, but again, the market keeps hitting that Bollinger Band, and while it's pushing it higher, which is very typical when you get the Gorilla Glue trade, it hasn't yet embedded. If it decides to pull back, these areas right here, the 200 and the 18-week average of closes, could be your next support. Home Depot, what a disappointing market this has been. Look at how it has fallen right into the 100-week and the lower Bollinger Band, and it's oversold. From my perspective, this is a great spot to cover all shorts, stand back, not time to be a buyer and just throw a dart at the market, but I certainly think that you're into a good support area. When we take a look at Uber, I thought that you might pull back to the 18-week average. That's when we started covering it, and we've done so. And now the market's trying to search, is this the spot to begin building a position from? I'm very bullish Uber. I want to make it one of the core holdings. In KRE, lower highs, lower and lows, so the regional banks getting smashed. And this is with interest rates doing what? Falling. But at the same time, nobody knows what to make out of the tariffs. So the markets have been selling off because everybody's wondering. And so many of these regional banks, as you know, you got farming communities, they're not doing well. I can go on and on. This is why the banks have been getting hit. The industrial part of the market, it'll be interesting tomorrow to see what the Chicago reading is on the National Activity Index, but I don't think it's been overly bullish. Lower highs, lower lows. First challenge of the Bollinger Band, you snap back as I'd expect off an oversold condition, and that's what I've been looking for. On the energies, you have nothing here. You have a higher high, lower low. It found its support at the 100-week average of closes in the 18-week, but it's not trending. That's the problem I'm having with it. And as we look at the dollar, just slipping away, the big question is the market got underneath the Bollinger Band. It bounced, but is that it? Is the market ready to slip further? Because one of the goals of the Trump administration has been to break the value of that. In the gold market, inflation. Now, what I want you to be aware of, the old rumor, buy the rumor, sell the fact. Gold has been rallying on the idea that the tariffs are going to be very bullish, that the U.S. economy will weaken because of it. When we see them, if those tariffs are much milder than people think, you could get a correction in these markets. That's what you got to keep your eye on. Copper is obviously a market caught in the tariffs. If you look at the European price for copper, it's nothing like the American. You have a lower and low, higher high. You're caught in the Bollinger Bands and going nowhere at this point. So I put this all together, try to come up with ideas for you. And one of them, as you know, is going to be, let me get to where I should be. My fingers are slipping here. Here we go. My special report on gasoline. Just go to iraepstein.com and it's right there for you. I'm Ira. You have yourself a great weekend. What's left of it, I hope you enjoy the basketball. Illinois, where I'm from, not doing too well at this hour. Maybe they can pull out a miracle, but it's not looking good. I'm Ira. You take care.